Νομίζω κάνει φοβερή δουλειά στην Ομόνια.
And we call taxi, and with Kilian I opened the door behind, I put him the taxi, and I close the door, and I want to go inside, and Kilian go out.
You're gonna get someone messaging you afterwards saying, "Why did you mention me?"
Hey, fuck them.
She say, I cry because you are here today.
Πάμε σιλά καμουφτιά, λίγο αμπρεγά, ποτάμισα.
Edo! Welcome to another edition of the No Chocolates podcast on the OLB. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Tell your NOUNA if she's watching. If she isn't watching, she needs to know about it. I'm your host, Stel, and I've got a very special guest with me. It's Costa from the Gate 7 International podcast. How you doing, mate? You good?
Tikanis recubare.
Hola, Calafilemo. What's going on?
Good, man. Good. It's a pleasure to be back on the show.
It's an absolute honor to have you back on, mate. And I'll tell you why it's extra special, because we've signed another player. My God, it's like London buses. You wait for one and two come at the same time. We signed Tim the other day. We got our striker. We got our killer, Jedora. We've got our Vegari. There you go. Maxi Lovera, your boy, on loan, albeit for, I think it's for 6 months. People, I don't know how long the extension is going to be, if they can extend it for another year. I don't know, but let's see how it goes. But yeah, before we start talking about this fella, tell us about your podcast. Plug your shit, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, mate. So as you said, I'm from the Gate 7 International podcast. We're English source, English podcast for Olympiakos, mainly football. Obviously, Olympiakos is bigger than just a football club. Basketball, volleyball, polo, etc. Yeah, we focus mainly on football. If we had a ping pong team, we'd probably be very competitive about that as well. But yeah, we're the only English speaking source for Olympiakos news, much like what you guys are doing over there, learning from what you're doing as well. Still doing a fantastic job.
Likewise, mate. Likewise.
So yeah, there are 4 of us. 3 of the guys from North America. We're all plotted around different parts of the world, actually. One's in the US, one's in Canada, one's in Switzerland. I'm in Belgium. So on different time zones. It's a lot of fun. I know there's a lot of Olympiakos fans in Cyprus and a lot of Greeks, a lot of Cypriots, Greek Cypriots in London. If you haven't checked out our channel, head over. We do a lot of interviews as well with former players. Starting to get good relations with the club as well, so hopefully get some players from the club. It's a lot of fun. It's a club that can be very toxic, both in a positive and a negative way. So it can get heated on the pod sometimes. Of course, for viewing, losses are always more popular numbers wise.
Tell me about it. Well, no, I love your work, man. It's absolutely brilliant. You guys have built a fantastic brand. Your following is fantastic, and do you know what? Long may it continue, because I enjoy watching it as well. I don't even follow Greek football too much. I only watch it because you guys are doing it now. You know, I will look out for Olympiakos. I'm like, oh, shit, if they draw, if they lose, I'm not going to watch this one because I know what's going to happen. It's going to be fireworks.
Don't you want to see the fireworks?
Oh, mate, I saw some of the European shows after Frankfurt and Antwerp. Yeah. I'm like, someone's going to say something that they'll regret. Yeah.
Freedom of speech, you know. But it's good. You got 4 people there. Kind of, you get a different perspective. You know what I mean? I know you guys are 3 as well. It is what it is, man. Like, you get the different views, and sometimes it gets heated between ourselves. You know, we disagree with each other quite fiercely at times, but it's what it is.
Have you got a WhatsApp group between you guys? I know we've got one, but have you gone with?
Mate, we've got a WhatsApp group, the 4 of us. We've got like a bloggers group where there are people from Australia on it, people from Greece. I'm trying to think, like someone from France. It's mad. Like the conversations that go on in there. My wife looks at me sometimes and says, "What are you doing on your phones? Like, are you doing your Olympiakos shit again?" So, oh, sorry.
It's brilliant though, man. I bet she's glad that you're sitting away from them sometimes, you know. Lets her get on with her own thing, you know. Brilliant. Yeah, there you go. There you go. No,
Yeah.
well done, man. Brilliant. I love it. Absolutely love it. Because we got our own WhatsApp group with Roy and Chris. And for the past month, and I don't think Chris will mind me saying this, God, bro, you wake up and there's a WhatsApp message. Obviously, they're 2 hours ahead of us. So I wake up first thing in the morning, blurry-eyed, and I know. After like the third day, I'm thinking, Chris is going to say, have we made any more signings? Have we made any signings? I'm like, fucking hell, Chris. But doing it, man. Just be patient. But we've done it. We've signed 2 players. And that might pacify a few people. And to be brutally honest, Costa, the way this season has gone for us, and actually, we started the season pretty poorly in Europe, knocked out of 2 competitions. We got to the Conference League, and then the league form suffered. And yeah, we made some signings in the summer, but it just didn't seem to work out. And this season has been pretty average for us, in all fairness. And that's all right. We're still in with a shout of qualifying for the top 6, which will then give us the opportunity to qualify for European places or play for European places. We still got the cup. But this January has been huge for us. We needed to sign a couple of players, and we've brought in 2. I mentioned Tim Matavaz, who we've signed from Bursaspor, who looks pretty decent, albeit on YouTube. And this fella that we signed, Maxi. I'm going to call him Maxi, man. I love that name, Maxi. Tell us about him. What can you tell us about him? We've obviously signed him from you guys on loan. I don't know much about him. The floor is yours, my friend.
All right, so where do I start? You said that you found the Vicari. That's what we thought we signed back in 2019. So we signed him from Rosario Central from Argentina. It's Messi's backyard, his neighborhood in Rosario. I think it was his breakout season, basically. He's 22 years of age now. He'll turn 23 in March. And so he came over with the reputation of being this kind of 10/second striker that also could play on the wing. He was deployed mainly as a second striker, though, but also played out on the right-hand side. He's 170 tall. He's not very tall, in fact. Low center of gravity, likes to take a player on. But basically, we've only seen him played as a 10 once that I can remember, and that was in a cup game against Kalamata. No disrespect, like a second division team. They're, the type of team we should be scoring 4 or 5 against, and he scored 2 goals in that game. And then otherwise, mate, I mean, if you look at his stats, he's played, 35 games, 36 appearances for Olympiakos, 2 goals, 5 assists. So he's a bit of an enigma, mate. It's like, I mean, I can go on here, but positives and negatives, like I said, he likes to dribble, he can take players on, and he likes to do that thing where he kind of feints the shoulder, drops the shoulder one way, and then he's off the other and he's gone. And he can turn like very quickly and leave the defender for dead. Now, what else? Dead balls. Like if you don't have a dead ball specialist, there have been some moments, or there was a moment, I think, in his first season where he got in a fight with Fortunis over taking a free kick. Like he can only speak Spanish. I don't think he can speak another language. Maybe he must have picked up some Greek. That might help him in Cyprus, obviously. But he's quite good, like corners, free kicks. Like he can hit a dead ball. Now, I mentioned his positives being the dribble, but that can also be his negative. Because like a lot of Latin players that come over from South America, they tend to overdo it a little bit. So he's taken one player on, then he's going to take a second one. He beats him, and then you're like, all right, release it. And then he tries to take another person on, and he loses it. He either does that, or he takes a player on, gets past them, and then he's 35 yards out and he shoots. So what are you doing, mate? Why are you shooting from 35 yards? And he hasn't been able to fix that. He has the manager hasn't given him consistent games. And like I said, he's been deployed in a position out wide on the left mainly, where I just feel like that gives him, how to say, it makes him do that thing that's negative, which is to cut inside, take the player on, and then kind of, get stuck and pass it backwards. So I feel like he has a lot of talent. We paid 3.3 million euro for him in 2019, Apparently, Napoli wanted him as well, but we just haven't seen it still. Like, it's 2022 now. We've just gone into 2022. He was loaned out the last, I think it was a 1 year loan. Yeah, it was a 1 year loan. We loaned him out last January back to Argentina. Racing Club and Elect were interested as well, but it fell through. He went back to Argentina. It's a shit move, I think. And he's come back this December after the league's finished in Argentina, and he's played like 2 games, like 20 minutes in total. And you can't really expect him to do a lot in 20 minutes. But you saw the same thing that I mentioned, which is that thing where he runs, he gets past the player and shoots from 35 yards, and you're just like, nothing changed in a year. So I'll stop there because I've ranted on for 5 minutes.
No, that's fine. Do you know what? There's some things that you said that made me think about our tactical style. Now, I don't know if you're aware, but we have sold one of our younger players to Sporting Kansas City. Johnny's, yeah, he broke through the academy, and he's done remarkably well. And he's a predominantly left-sided player. And he and one of our former players, Thiago, who also is a left winger, they were basically deployed as wide players by inverted wingers. So they would get the ball on the left-hand side, either take it down the flank or drop inside or cut inside and hit the ball. And I'm thinking 2 things. Either Maxi's going to play that role because we don't really have a left winger to do that. I know he's right-footed, but we don't have a player that can play in that position because our 2 main wide players are Botiak, who's left-footed, and Loizu, who's left-footed. So we've got 2 left-footed players who effectively play wide right. So they're vying for the same position. Now, Eric has played on the left since Johnny's has gone. He played on the left against Anorthosis at the weekend. He did reasonably well, but he's 34 years old. I don't know if a 34-year-old can continuously play on the left to track back, to get forward, to play on the counter-attack. I don't know if he can do it. Plus, he's been unlucky with injuries the past 2 years. He's had 2 pretty bad quad injuries, which have kept him out for about 8 months in total, if not more. So there's that. But then we're talking about the number 10 position where we've got Fodi Babuli, who's 36 years old. He's the only number 10 we have. And while Fodi's been fantastic for us, he's got a lot of pace. He's very influential when going forward. But again, he's 36. Now, as far as I can understand, Maxi's 22 years old. So he's still developing as a player. Obviously, he's frustrating because, as you said, he will take on 2-3 players and he will smash the ball from 30 yards. And you're thinking, the pass is on. Why aren't you doing that?
Yeah.
But I think, is that a case of, was he wanted originally by Pedro Martins? Was he the guy that brought him in technically, or was it someone high up that saw this lad and thought, let's bring him in and maybe we can develop him and then sell him on like you did with Podence?
Yeah, so if you trust Greek media, they'll tell you that Pedro Martins scouted this 20-year-old from Rosario, yeah? I don't believe that. At the time, we had Churi Dominguez, former player of ours, like former River Plate captain, etc., legends player. Anyway, he started off that season in a scouting role, if I remember, and he was traveling with the club when we were going to qualifiers and everything. And my sense is that it was his tip to the clubs, like, go sign this player from Argentina. You know how it is with players from South America. If you want to get like one of these like top players from Brazil or Argentina, you've got to fork out like considerable amount of money, which we don't really do. It's risky, particularly since we signed Diogo. If you remember him some years ago, Gogadis forked out 10 million euros to bring him over. He had a fantastic first season, and then he discovered the bars in Glifada and the Putanas, or I don't know what. Anyway, and he's playing football in Thailand now and winning championships. But anyway, I digress. The thing about Lovera that I was trying to think, what am I going to tell you guys? Because I don't want to just tell you like it's not going to work out. So I think if you're asking me, is he going to have an immediate impact? My answer is no. Is he talented? Yes. Will he be useful to you overall? I hope so. And here's my hot take. I think that playing for you guys is kind of his last opportunity in Europe to really do something, because I think that Henningberg can have a really positive impact on him, knowing where Henningberg's come from, who he's played under. He's won a Champions League. He's played for Alex Ferguson. Like, he's a good manager. As far as I know, I don't follow Omonoia Football Club like day to day, like minute, like you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it's a manager that can put him in a, how to say it, galupi, like how we say in Greek. You know, he can give him some.
Nurture him.
Yeah, he can nurture him. He can take that talent and the fundamentals and say, all right, you need to stop shooting from 35 yards, or you need to play the 1-2. You need to like make a run, continue running after you've made the pass. So I think that I hope that Henningberg can have a positive influence on him, because I think he's at a crossroads in his career. I think that, as far as I know, there's no option to buy or obligation to buy or anything like that. I'd be surprised. But if he doesn't make it out there, if he doesn't manage to make an impact, I see this player going back to South America, back to a club in Argentina, or possibly to play in Brazil, and that's it. And it's a shame. It's a shame.
The thing is, the way I see it, and there's a very good comment here. Well, first of all, someone says it's too fucking late. Andrea is he's the most positive person I've ever met. But Yanni's put a comment here. I just don't be too late for those two transfers that we made. We need to see him in the field and after. Now, the thing is, we effectively have 3 league games to salvage our season and hope that results go our way. And the reason why I say this is because we've got Ethnikos, we've got Aris away, who lost today, which is a big result, and Apoel. And they're the 3 final games of the season until the league splits, because the top 6 go into like a playoff system where they play each other. Now, in those 3 games, if we win all 3 games and Apoel and Anorthosi, who have games in hand, drop points, there's a chance we get into the top 6, and then we can challenge either for top 4, which gets European places because we have 2 Champions League spots, and possibly winning the title, which I've written off anyway. But top 4 is still a mathematical possibility. So effectively, he has 3 games to save his career in Europe, because, all right, we've got the cup to play for, which you could say there's a few more games where you can give it a go, but he needs to hit the ground running. And he needs to be serious. He can't fuck about. Now, there's something that I'm not sure whether you said it earlier, and I also read it on a blog on your website about him some time ago. And there was the fact of the language, how you've got a few Portuguese players in your squad, and people were saying, well, it's a similar language. It really isn't. We've got 2 Spanish-speaking players. We've got Jordi Gomez and Yuste, 2 Spanish players. So I'm thinking that should help him. And they're senior players as well. We're not talking 20-year-olds. We're talking 35, 36-year-old players. And Jordi's won the FA Cup with Wigan, for crying out loud. And he's played for Barcelona. So, you know, you're thinking that he might have that help there. And as you mentioned, with Henningberg knowing how to nurture youngsters, we've seen it with other younger players. So I'm hoping it will work out well. But in terms of his strengths, you mentioned the pace, which we lack going forward. Is he good on the counter-attack, you reckon?
It's kind of hard to judge, because in Greece we're always playing against park the bus tactics most of the time.
We get that as well.
Yeah, so he's been playing against defenses that are basically just lining up in front of the penalty box. So there was one characteristic situation in a game last year, I remember, where fans were pissed at him, where he was in one of those situations where we've broken kind of 3-on-1, and there have been options for the pass for him to release, and he just kept going. It's like kept going on the ball to try and do it all the way, and he got in front of the keeper, and the keeper kind of blocked him, and he had to turn back, and luckily he managed to get a pass into the attacker to score. But I remember, I think I was watching the game like from the sofa, and I could just hear the screams on Twitter. You know what I mean? And then you go on afterwards, and everyone's just like having a go at him. And It's like you little shit, you little bastard, pass the ball, like release it, and you know how it is. But yeah, like, does he have the pace? Like, his pace electric, mate. Like I said, he can. I've seen it so many times where he's kind of got the ball like with his back to the other goal, kind of on the halfway line, and the defenders just kind of come in to try and take the ball, and he's just like turned with his right foot and gone down the left, and the defender's like, where's he gone?
Yeah,
he can turn so quickly, and you'll see it. You'll see it. Like, you'll see a player that's technically gifted, that he plays street football. In Podosfero Alanas. Like, that's what he plays, and he needs to embed that tactical approach. You know, that's that European side of the game. That's what he's lacking.
You mentioned set pieces earlier. He's right-footed, isn't he?
Yeah. Now,
you're going to laugh at this, but I think we've had over 80 corners, and we've only scored once or twice from them. And I'm not going to lie to you, the delivery on the majority of them have been piss poor. There have been some that have gone out for a goal kick from the same side. Like, it's been bad, because what the tactic is, they put as many players in the 6-yard box as possible and get someone to whip it in. But there have been times where Jordi's taken the corner from that side where you can whip it in with the left foot and it's gone out for a goal kick. It's hit the side netting. Or Babuli has done it on the other side where it's hit the side netting, and it's so infuriating. Or we've had free kicks where you're thinking, just whip it back stick. Just whip it. You don't even have to get decent height on it. Just whip it. Make them think about it. Make the defenders work for it, or the goalkeeper work for it. And it's just like, fuck me, man. Honestly, what's happening here? So, with that being said, you mentioned the set pieces. Can he make an impact from that situation as well?
I mean, when he's taken set pieces, I think out of his 5 assists, maybe 2 of them are from corners. But otherwise, he hasn't had a chance, you know, because they wouldn't let him take them. But when he has, like, you can see that, all right, this guy is like, he's little, but like, he can hit the far post from a corner. Do you know what I mean? So he can.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
I mean, like I said, haven't seen him hit many, but you clearly kind of see him like going towards the ball on the free kick. And like I said, there was a situation, I think, in his first season where he was kind of talking to Fortuni's like club captain. Is like, let me take the free kick. And Fortuni was like, no, mate.
Well, he's ballsy. The other question I want to ask, one of the many things I've complained about this season, because there's a long list of things I've complained about, is the lack of cunts in this team. Now, you mentioned it. Yeah, I listen. I did a video. We played our ball on the beginning of the season, and at one point, our centre back Adam Lang absolutely smashed one of their players on the halfway line. The guy was horizontal. Like, he smashed him. And in the video, I said, in the review, I said, we don't have many cunts in this team. We don't have players that get stuck in and really can, like a scrap. And I think Jordi Gomez actually even liked that video. But you said he's got that street football mentality. Has he got that Argentinian snidiness in him as well?
Yeah, so I see one of the comments that we want to hear your Greek, Costa. Like, he's a little shit from the streets of Argentina.
From the favela. So, not the favela, from barrio. It's from the barrio, not the favela, the barrio. That's it.
You can see it, like that kind of that fire. But it's been hard for him as well, I think, a little bit, mate. Like, I think the adaptation, like, it was hard for him coming from Argentina. I don't think there were many Spanish speaking players that first season. It was very Brazilian, Portuguese-esque team, Portuguese manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, all of that. And like I said, I hope that he gets a consistent run, and I hope that finally we find out, is he a 10 or is he a left winger? I'm not convinced he's a winger, mate. I really think Papoulis played in Greece, right?
That's right, yeah.
I remember him And Baboulis is like a second striker, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's not
I
like
think that's what he's coming in to play that role, though. I think he's coming in to play as a 10.
so he's not a like Baboulis isn't a creative midfielder. I remember him being like a fake 9 or like a second striker. So I hope that's where we see him, because I haven't seen it, mate. Like I said, one game I remember against Kalamata, and he scored a nice goal. I think 2 nice goals from outside the box. So I'm going to be following. We're all going to be following with interest.
Yeah, he's been he's definitely going to be an upgrade on a player that we signed on loan in the summer. And here's a comment from Joseph. He goes, "We'll be sure that if our coach Berg sees him do something, they'll take him out on the pitch like EI." He mentions EI. This is a Nigerian forward that we signed on loan from Dinamo Zagreb, and he started off pretty well. In all fairness, he scored on his debut in the game against Antwerp, won a penalty. In fact, he won the penalty and scored. But then afterwards, he just became a liability, you know. And when you have a player that, okay, for me, effort is a given, right? It's not, when I hear people say, "Oh, that player gives 100%," that's a given, man. There's no, you can't gauge it. You've got to give 100%. And this player, when I see some of the goals that we've conceded, granted, he's a winger and he doesn't probably have any interest in tracking back, but some of the goals I've seen us concede, you see him jogging back into a right back area or a left back area, and you're thinking, mate, bust the gut. Or when you're on the counter attack and he's running from the halfway line off the ball, jogging, and I'm thinking, this guy's he doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. And when you see a player like him, you lose all faith, and you're thinking, why did we sign this player? He's taken up a non-Cypriot spot as well. You know, it's not as if he's whatever, but you know, to sign this lad who, obviously, as you mentioned, he's in last chance saloon, and he's flattered to deceive, or he hasn't even shown anything remotely worth the 3 million spent on him. I think for us, it's a good thing because, number one, as you mentioned, it's last chance saloon for him. He's got the ability. And I think if Cyprus is his level, look, we saw Biseswar come to Apollon last season from PAOK, and he did very, very well. And he's a decent player. So if this lad at 22 years old can come to Cyprus and has got the pace and has got the right mentality and the ability, I think he will do well. But like I said, he needs to hit the ground running. And going back to the whole Spanish-speaking thing, Shepovic speaks Spanish as well, and he's a striker. So that's another good thing, I'm guessing. So, yeah, I don't know.
That may be a reason why he accepted the move.
Shep was Olympiakos as well, wasn't he? Yeah, no.
Yeah. But didn't he play at Mallorca, or he played in Spain?
Mallorca, Bravo. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. His brother played there as well. Yeah.
That's good. That's it's a good environment for him then, like going into that. And I've been a fan, mate, and I've been one of those people that's been crying to the manager, like, play him in his position for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't happened. Like I said, like, I like to think that I can see something in that player. Like, there's something there. You just haven't been able to pull it out of him and really get him to perform on the pitch. We haven't been able to do that.
When you look at players in his position, though, or the position that he wants to play, you can kind of say, well, he's not better than what we've got. So, of course, he's not going to be getting the opportunities.
Yeah, when you've got Prime Fortounis in 2019, sorry, 2018. Yeah, he came in 2019, sorry. What did we play that season? I'm trying to think now. So we changed our system as well, because Fortounis got injured in 2019.
Right.
And then we changed it to a 4-3-3, like a clear kind of 4-3-3. Valbuena was also, Valbuena signed that season, and Valbuena was playing the 10 when we played 4-2-3-1. And Valbuena was 35 when he came, still like really, really good that first season he came. I think he had 23 assists or something, like 8 goals, something ridiculous. So he just didn't get a chance in that position. Let's see.
But you had Podence as well, didn't you, at the time, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, that season as well. Podence was there. Rangelovic was having a breakout season. Like, we'd signed him he'd come back off a loan. Like, we'd left him out on loan in Serbia. He came in and scored 2 goals against Krasnodar and, like, you know, helped us massively to qualify for the Champions League group stages. So he was up against it, like in terms of the competitions he had in the squad. I think at Omonoia he's gonna get a better chance.
Well, I tell you what, Lion King here, fantastic name. Emis telome da sud do exo abodibero here, which is true. We don't have players that shoot outside the box enough. Okay, I'm gonna sidestep and say Jan Lesiak scored an absolute worldie at the weekend from like 30 yards, 35 yards. He just smashed it to the top corner, but he's a left back. But he's right. We don't have players that shoot enough outside the box. It's almost as if they're trying to pass the ball into net, trying to be a bit intricate. And if you have a player he's a baller and he's got the ability to shoot from range, that's a good thing. And I think the other thing that's quite important to note is I did a show with Charlie Mitchell that used to be the performance analyst at FC Buffalo, and he brought us some shocking stats in the sense that this season we've actually created more opportunities than we did last season, but we just haven't been putting them away. So that kind of says we need a striker, which we brought in, and we need someone that can create and score from midfield, which hopefully we have now. So he's signed a new contract, I think. So I don't think we've got any chance of signing him.
Did he? Did I miss something in the last half an hour?
Has he not signed a new contract?
Not unless something changed in the last half an hour.
Or was he not meant to sign one? I don't know.
His contract's up in June, like summer, and he wants reportedly the same money that he's on now, which is 2 million. He's our biggest earner. Right. He's the biggest earner in the league. Fairly, I would say. He's one of the best strikers we've ever had in the modern era. But yeah, Michalagi, you're not getting a lot of him, mate. No. I don't know if we'll keep him, mate. It's one of those questions. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of Omonoia fans are Olympiakos fans, aren't they? Despite the colours being complete contrasts.
Yeah, there are quite a few. Even Roy's an Olympiakos fan. He's going to kick me when I see him next time, because the last time you guys came on, he wanted to come on, but he couldn't make it. And this time again, because of the time difference, he can't make it. So, yeah. Here's a question. How much will Olympiakos ask for him in June? More than $1 million?
Yeah. Olympiakos will want to recoup the money that was spent, minimum, and then depends how well he does.
Right. I get it. So in terms of this player long term then, do you see him having a future at Olympiakos if he does well with us? Or is he going to be loaned out again? Your opinion, obviously.
Very hard to say, Stel, because in his position, which we don't know what it is yet, I think is going to be an experiment at Omonoia, and that will tell a lot, and how he performs is going to tell a lot about his future. Because if he's a 10, we just signed Joao Carvalho from Nottingham Forest. He's a 10. Kostas Fortounis is a 10. Agibu Kamara, who probably will leave this summer and could go to the Premier League. A lot of people are speculating. He's playing like an 8 or a 10. So is he going to come back to Olympiakos and find a place for him? He's going to have to show something quite exceptional at Omonoia in order for Olympiakos and for the manager to really take him seriously. Something important to have in mind as well is that Pedro Martins just signed a 2-year contract extension. So it's the same manager that he knows that knows him. So I think it's going to take a lot of convincing to really, change Pedro Martins' mind. We've seen over the years that he has his minds quite made up over some players. Some players he trusts them, he's interested. Others he loses faith or he doesn't trust them and they don't play, and that's it.
Understandable.
That's why I said it's make or break for him.
Well, let's see. Hopefully it's make.
I do. And do you know what? If he's not going to find a spot with us after playing well for you, then maybe he does stay with you. Or, I wish him well. What can I say? Like I said, I'm going to be watching more what's going on with Omonoia, and I'm really keen to see him.
Oh, you have updates. Don't worry, man. You have updates. I'll be on the blower, no problem. WhatsApp every few seconds. This fucking guy. No, I'm not that ruthless unless it's EIE. There's a question here. What about defensively? Does he track back? I think we touched on that. I want to counter that question with what's he like in the press? because we've been pressing much higher than we have done all season now.
In 2019, when we were playing against the likes of Bayern Munich, Tottenham, Red Star, who were in our Champions League group, he played out wide on the left and he contributed to that press. And mate, I don't know if you watched any of those games, but we're the only team that season that gave Bayern Munich a run for their money. Any team that Bayern Munich played that season were eating 4 or 5 goals. Didn't matter if they were Barcelona or I don't know, whoever. Everyone they were playing, they were just completely demolishing them. They came to Skaggi and they left by the skin of their teeth with a 3-2 win. And I remember Lovera came on in the second half, I think, against Bayern Munich, and he had the last shot of the game. So a nicely worked move where we'd stolen the ball high up the field. That team pressed high up the field. We won the ball back. Cross comes in from the left. It drops to Lovera, sits up beautifully. One of those moments where you're like, all right, you score this and you're starting to make a career for yourself at the club. He hits it and Neuer gets down and saves it, and that was it. But for the press, I think he can do it. Tracking back, not so sure.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why he'll play primarily as a 10, because I can't see him dropping deep to help out defensively. But the good thing is, with the system that we play now, Shepovic has been instructed to drop deep to hold the ball up. He did that quite a lot against Anorthosis the other day, and
that. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Well, here's me turning around saying to myself, it's only Roy's internet that fucks up. That's it. We're still here. We're still here. Sorry, boys. Sorry, boys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happened here. There you go. Thank you for putting that up there. You know, let's finish it. Yeah, let's finish it. Yeah, the server. We got a new host. Blah blah blah. This thing. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ! I don't know what's happening, man. I don't know what happened. I apologize to everyone. I'm never gonna joke about Roy's internet ever again. The other day we did a stream. His internet was fucked. People put up a comment saying he needs to change his name to @RoyNoInternet. I need to change my name to @StelNoInternet. Stel connects you through Roy's internet. There you go. Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah. But yeah, sorry for the delay, boys and girls. Sorry, Costa, for keeping you waiting. I don't know what.
That's all right, mate. I thought it was playing up on mine. I was like, what the fuck happened?
Fuck me, man. Piss off. Jesus Christ. No, because it went blank, and I was like, "What's going on?" And then I saw the what's it called? The Wi-Fi logo. It was still there. I'm thinking, "What's going on?" So I checked my router. It was fine. Then I was getting all these error messages. What the fuck's going on? I thought it was my StreamYard. So I rebooted I don't know. That's the problem. I've got one of those Amazon Fire Sticks now. Well, I've got all the football and all that. So I don't know whether my internet provider has gone to me. Yeah, you're watching too much illegal football now. You know.
Okay. Yeah. I no comment.
Yeah. Anyway, but there's a guy that I know that also provides a Fire Stick, and he's got a lot of the Cypriot football channels, which I'm not going to go into. Well, I don't condone that. Yeah, Sidanet, CableNet. We're still live, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, I don't know if I've got any more questions to ask about Maxi.
You were saying about Sepovic dropping back, and I was thinking that could be a nice little tandem up front, mate. I mean, they speak the same language, and Sepa probably won't have to drop back anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, he should be in the box, and Maxi should be picking up the balls outside the area.
When I spoke to Shep about his new role, he really enjoys it. Coming deep, collecting the ball, laying it off.
Because he can play the ball. I remember him from his little time at Olympiakos that he can play the ball. He's not a, shall I say, Acharos striker. Like, he can. Yeah. He's got a decent touch. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm quietly confident about this. Look, every time a team makes a signing, you're gonna get excited. You're obviously gonna hope for the best. And while I get what you said about
this last comment,
this one, you didn't get the last vaccine dose with the latest 5G chip. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I need the booster. I refuse to get the booster, man. I've already been double jabbed. What do I need the booster for? You know, I've had the fucking virus twice. Jesus. Where was I? Yeah, so you're going to get excited about new signings, and yeah, I get what you're saying about his lack of form and how he hasn't shown up. But I think, look, the Cypriot League is still improving, but it's got a lot of flaws. And when you got teams who have quite a few players who actually can't defend, I think it makes things a lot better for the bloke. And we've seen us cut defenses to ribbons this season. Okay, it hasn't happened enough. But I think when you got a player that is a playmaker, that is a Degari, which is what a lot of fans have been crying out for, I think this is Henning Berg's opportunity to turn around and say, right, I've got a player that can now play in a system that I can trust. He sticks with 4-4-2, and we've said it for a long time. Switch it up, Berg. Switch it up. Change the system because it's predictable. But when you look at the statistics and you look at the way that we are going forward, we are definitely missing that player that can unlock defenses, that's got that trickery, that can drop the shoulder, as you said, that's got that playmaking ability. When you do have that kind of player, it makes a big difference to the system.
Do you know what? I think he might be able to play that 4-4-2 even. So it might be a 4-4-2 that kind of morphs into a 4-5-1 or a 4-2-3-1.
It'll be a 4-4-1-1, mate. It'll be a 4-4-1-1.
Call it what you want. Something interesting. He came back from loan, and do you know what number he picked? He picked number 9.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that can mean nothing and it can mean something, but 10 was taken, I think 18 was taken, and 9 was free. And he was like, "Do you know what? I'm going to take the 9." I don't know if that's some kind of omen as well, but
I'm interested to see what shirt number he wears with us, to be honest. I don't know if that's been announced yet. Let's have a look.
do you think the manager wanted this player?
It's a good question, because I'm not too sure how much Henning Berg knows about him. See, with Matavaz, the striker, you know, he played for PSV Eindhoven, he played for Vitesse, he had a spell in Turkey. So he's played for clubs that you can kind of, you know, it's easy to scout. It's easy to scout. But this lad, I don't know how much Berg knows about him. So it begs the question, we don't have a technical director. So who would have made that recommendation? Now, I know Marinagi and Babastavro have a good relationship. We saw it at the beginning of last season when we played you in the qualifier, and even before that, we played you in a friendly.
Yeah.
So there is a good relationship there. So maybe, you know, people talk and people get... Look, when Johnny's left and he signed for Sporting Kansas City, we thought, how did this happen? But there were 2 agents involved in the deal. One of them used to play in Cyprus, and the other guy is a Serbian that played in MLS, and they know each other. So there's that link there. So I'm thinking, where is the link with us and you guys from a financial perspective and from a business perspective? And also, there's another leading question here. I know you guys were interested in Loizo last season.
I was going to say, yeah.
So are we talking that if it works out, are we talking about maybe a potential swap deal, or, you know, one will go one way, one will go the other, money will change hands? I don't know.
I've heard a lot of good things about Loizo. I can't say I've seen him play enough, but I know that you rate him very highly. I don't know if there's space for Loizo, man. What is he? He's 18. Is he still 18?
Yeah. 18, yeah.
We've not been great at nurturing that kind of talent. It really takes a fantastic player to really bed down like that opportunity and take that Vasigor shirt, you know, and make it his. And we just signed an 18-year-old kid from Real Madrid, winger Dibi Keita, Spanish, I think, adopted from Mali.
Kind of like Adama Traore, that kind of...
Yeah, I think so. So like I said, he's 18, like been playing for Real Madrid's youth team, I think in Castilla. Wing has been a bit of an issue for us, mate. Like literally the 2 winger positions, the big signings that we made this summer, Henry Onyekuru, complete waste of space, 5 million euro. I mean, we've been talking about loaning him or selling him back to Turkey after 6 months already. He's been awful, like 24 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist for your top, like, you know, big money signing of the summer. Done nothing. And then Ronnie Lopez, who's come in on loan from Seville after being loaned out left, right, and centre the last couple of seasons. Apparently, he's been shipped off to Konyaspor or something in Turkey.
Oh, wow.
It's been a complete flop, mate. We've got Masouras as an option on the wing. I'm trying to think. Like Agibu Kamara played on the wing yesterday against BAUK.
How's Tiquinho getting on?
Tiquinho's doing all right, man. He scored 10 goals in 28 appearances or something like that. Scored some big goals, man. Like he scored big goals against Fenerbahce away in Turkey where we won 3-0. He scored the winner against them that essentially helped us qualify for the last 32 of the Europa League at 90, you know, stoppage time winner coming on as a sub. He hasn't been getting the service. I think if he got more service, he'd be getting more goals. But considering he's a player that's come from China and hadn't played football for 6 months and, you know, had a beer belly when he came over, he's done really well, man. And I expect he'll do better next season if he sticks around. He's got a long-term contract, and we mentioned El Arabi's contract ends at the end of the season. Don't know if he's going to renew. So he's been a decent signing, but Olympiakos has been complicated this year, man. It's been complicated at Olympiakos for a number of reasons, and we all have different opinions on this. But yeah, if I start talking about Olympiakos, we can go on go on
Well,
another.
it'll be another feather tar cap. You know, I think end of the season we need to do a therapy session, you guys and us. But you guys would have won the league, so.
Well, that's it. Like, we've played shit. It really, like, we joke about this, but I was saying the other day on the show that yes, there are problems. Like, yes, the football we've played has been poor. Yes, eye drop manufacturers have probably raked in some mad profits this year. It's been bad, man. It's just been so bad to watch. And the first 2 seasons, like, you sat on the sofa and you were watching the games, you're like, yes, like, I'm watching football. It's not Premier League, like, but there's tempo, like, there's press. That, you know, there's a vision to, like, how the team has an identity. You kind of know what you're going to see. And now you're just kind of sitting on the sofa and you're like, drib, drab. Oh, we scored. It's 1-0. See out the game. Cool. It's been like 1-0s and 2-1s and like 1 or 2 games still where we've played well. One game against Fenerbahce, which we really enjoyed for obvious reasons, like on top of winning a game like that 3-0 in Europe. A game against AEG, which we won 3-2 in the end. And that's it, mate. There's not really much to remember from this season. And I've said it a while ago now. Like, I think it's a transition year. We need to get through it and then, you know, fix up shop in the summer and hope that the Greek FA just doesn't fuck everything up, like with the fucking cup being 2 weeks after the end of the league. And then, you know, European campaigns and pre-season starts June 5th and the cup final is the 21st. I'm hoping that we don't play in the cup final. So the boys need a rest. Like, mate,
do you know what? It's a similar situation with us because I think we need a clear out in the summer. We need the changes, but we also need the Cypriot FA to start being fair. But I'm not going to go into that because, again, I think that's another podcast for another time. So, anyway, Costa, well, listen, thank you so much for your time, man. Really appreciate it. Apologies for the technical difficulties. It's been great having you on again, and we'll do it again sometime soon, man.
With pleasure. Thanks a lot, mate.
I'll give you one more chance to plug your stuff, mate. It's all in the synopsis, but let them hear your voice.
Again, thanks a lot. We are Gate 7 International, your #1 English source for all things Olympiakos, by the fans, for the fans, bringing together Olympiakos fans from all over the world. We are a Greek club. We're trying to make it more of a global club, trying to connect the Greek fans in Greece with the Greek fans abroad, first generation, second generation, third generation. You know, as Stel says, you know, get your nonna, your yaya, your papu to subscribe. If you guys haven't subscribed, we're nearly going to hit, I think we're on 997 subs before we started the show today. If 2 or 3 of you, or all of you that are listening now can subscribe. That will really help us. And χαιρετισμούς σε όλα τα αδέρφια στην Κύπρο. Με πολύ αγάπη. And good luck for the rest of the season. Good luck to Maxi too. I hope he does help you. I hope he gets his career on track. And I hope that Omonoia is his, how can I say? His resurrection. His launch pad, mate. Yeah. His launch pad for his European career. So I hope you enjoy him. I hope he gives you what you need. And helps you to start making a way up the league and make a good push.
Delia, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. So that's it, boys and girls. Kobelia, another edition of No Choftes in the Bank. Again, sorry for the technical difficulties. We'll be back very, very soon. So until next time, don't forget, go olb24.com and just look for the lovely fanelas. I've got my Uzoho t-shirt on. Yeah, you see that? Francis Uzoho, big man, bingo. There you go, boys and girls. So until next time,